Zach is back with another attack, and you can count on that. Well, I know he's ugly and he's fat, but hit subscribe and we'll work on that. Cause now it's time for my own show. It's Zach to the future, yo. So, welcome to Movie Fights with Misty, Rodney. I'm Zach. And Becca.
Did you forget?
No. So, this is going to be a 3-round thing, elimination at the end of each round. So, what is the first question?
Best Robin Williams movie.
Alright.
So I can go first?
Yep.
And I debate why? Or do we all say it?
We all say
okay.
one first, yeah.
I am actually going to change my mind. I was saying some of the classics, but I'm going to go Mrs. Doubtfire.
Death to Smoochie.
Ooh,
Oh.
I didn't think about that. Probably Bicentennial Man.
Okay.
I'm gonna say The Birdcage.
Oh. That was a good one too.
Okay.
The reason I think that Mrs. Doubtfire is the best, Robin Williams gets to play 2 different roles, first of all. Not only that, but he also gets to do all of his animated voices. So you get to see all of his animated voices. It's very funny, but it's also about real life. So it has to do with, you know, him, his wife leaving him, his kids, the different dynamics between a new guy coming into the picture and the dad. But most of all, it's mostly because it shows a lot of his personality and how funny he is. And then when he's doing the voiceovers, that also shows exactly who Robin Williams actually is. So that's why I think that that's the best movie.
Okay. Death to Smoochie, why I think that is the best movie. It's not as well known as most of his other stuff. And he shines in that movie. He gets to act like a complete lunatic, which is where he's best. And just, going off the deep end and how crazy can I be? And I just think that's where he really shines. And it's not so serious as some other stuff he's done, which is good and everything. But, he acted against other very good people. And the whole movie was just amazing. So not just him, but everybody else that was in it. So I think that was the best Robin Williams movie.
I think Bicentennial Man is the best Robin Williams movie because it's an allegory for race and transgender and stuff, because he wants to be a human even though he's a robot. And I agree with what you said about him being good at acting totally insane, which I think he can really do when he's a robot instead of a human. And the deep storytelling shows off his comedic and serious sides that he became so well known for later in life and his career.
I think The Birdcage is the best movie because, like some of the other people said, like his acting does shine a lot in that movie. Just like the one scene alone where he's doing all those crazy dances, like I think that's just really good. Or there's a lot of ad-libbing in that movie, so it really just shows like his comedic timing and what kind of stuff he can do because of the ad-libbing. And he works well off of the other actors like Nathan Lane, and I think it's a really good movie.
I think that Death to Smoochie doesn't really hold up because Robin Williams it feels like he's constrained by the script, whereas even things like Mrs. Doubtfire, you can really go above and beyond and do a lot of ad-libbing, whereas I feel in Death to Smoochie he was more...
I think in Death to Smoochie he was completely unrestrained. He did whatever he wanted to do. He got to sing, kind of like in The Birdcage, which I think was better than Bicentennial Man.
I agree. I remember the best one ever.
Bicentennial Man.
Yeah, as I said, if I guess somebody asked me what one of Robin Williams' worst movies was, I guess I might have come up with Bicentennial Man.
I agree.
Okay.
Well, I think that, like I was saying, with Mrs. Doubtfire, just the way that he's dancing around in the suit, and when he runs back and forth between whenever he's at dinner with the whole family and whenever he's trying to do that interview with the guy, and he's he had a couple drinks in between too, and whenever he loses his teeth in the glass and the whole thing, it's very funny. And I'm pretty sure he did a lot of ad-libbing in that too. So, you know, where he's dancing around and doing his thing, and then at the end, where he ends up actually having the show for the character because he accidentally shows up as the character with his interview. That was classic. That was perfect.
Well, I think that Robin Williams shines in our three movies better than Death to Smoochie because he's also he's constrained as well to being Robin Williams as opposed to being a gay man, being a robot, being a woman. Whereas in Death to Smoochie, he's just Robin Williams.
But is that the best?
But he's-
Is that the
he's-
best, right? 'Cause
It's
he is
it's
himself.
almost, and nobody mentioned Aladdin because Genie. I mean, you could argue that that's one of his best movies because when he's Genie, he is completely Robin Williams.
Right.
And it's the same thing in Death to Smoochie. He's just being Robin Williams. I mean, it seems like in that movie, I don't know that they had a script other than some loose idea, and they just told him go.
I bet that's the way it was in a lot of movies, other than sex.
I think everyone's just shooting down by
Yeah,
Centennial
no one likes
Man.
Bicentennial Man. All right. Let's see how.
Oh, all right, family.
Who do you guys think
What do
did
you
the
think?
worst? There's a lot of good ones.
You got
Aladdin,
a shelf in your room full.
Oh,
What
I
Dreams
love
May
Hook.
Come.
Man, I love Hook too. I love Hook.
Hook's great.
By hook or by crook.
Patch Adams.
No,
Patch Adams, you know, and that's what I was saying was Patch Adams.
I was gonna say
Jack.
Good Will
yeah.
Hunting.
Good Will Hunting's great.
Great.
Yeah, I
Those
wish
are
I
great.
would have said Good Will
But you know what? I
Hunting.
think
That
they're
was
way more of a serious side, and I don't really want to put them as a serious side, so I think that
Yeah.
none of those would have worked out very
At
well.
least when he's got so many movies that are serious. And,
Right. Okay.
Did you guys come to
All
a
right, Lexi,
conclusion?
who's out?
Me?
Becca.
Becca?
Oh, okay.
Do I walk off screen now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like didn't really say anything after.
Yeah.
Next.
All right. What is the second question?
The second is best animated movie.
All right, you can go first this time, Dad. Give your answer.
Those are tough.
Or I
This is
can go
tough.
first. If you
That's
want.
yeah. Well, you've had. How long do you think about it?
Right.
I just don't want to steal one if you're gonna.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I would say that the best animated movie is Toy Story.
The best animated movie, in my opinion, is Ratatouille.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Lion King.
All right. Tough. All Disney movies.
Well, no, Pixar.
Well, Disney Pixar, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll start then. I believe that Toy Story is the best animated movie because it was so early in animation that it's impacted so many other movies, and it really allowed Pixar to go above and beyond as far as their style and how they take inanimate objects and make them into full-fledged characters, as well as just having a great story that has spawned almost three sequels that were just as good as the first one.
Okay. The reason I believe Ratatouille is the best animated movie, one, it is my favorite animated movie, but in my opinion, it is very inspirational. Matter of fact, I would not be running a restaurant today if that movie had not come out.
Oh.
That movie inspired me. I mean, a rat going in and cooking, right? Because the message of the movie is anyone can
Anyone
cook.
can cook.
Not that anyone can cook, but anyone who wants to should go out and try. And it was very inspirational to me, and it's one of the reasons I went out and went to culinary school myself. And so I think the message was, something that everybody can watch and feel.
Okay. So, Lion King, not only one of the best soundtracks ever, okay? That was one of the things, literally after that movie, we played the soundtrack, we bought the CD, I know, it's old. We didn't download anything, we bought the CD, we had it in our car, and just the soundtrack alone, Elton John, okay, some of the best, I think it's probably one of the best soundtracks that I've ever heard in any animation ever. Not only that, but just the whole storyline. First of all, Mufasa. Okay, you can't have a better matriarch of a family than
Darth Vader.
no, yes, sort of, yes. And so I think that Mufasa was absolutely amazing, and the fact too that when Simba ends up going away and everything falls apart, and then whenever he makes the friends that he makes, it kind of shows a different dynamic too, because he's a lion, you know, and he's a predator, and he should be predator to them. However, he's not, and so just the friendship that he makes there, one of my favorite things ever. Rafiki, can't deny that, okay? You guys remember who Rafiki is? I don't know, mom and dad may not. So, yeah, he's probably one of my favorite characters ever also. But I think, honestly, not only the way that the movie came about, but the animation itself was, I think, obviously Disney has a lot of wonderful movies, so before Lion King, they were fantastic. But I think Lion King kind of made them, there was a big gap between the older movies and then Lion King. And once Lion King came out, one after another, the Disney movies just started killing it. So that's why I think that's one of the best animated movies.
All right. Well, I think that you kind of killed your own argument, because in your Robin Williams answer, you said that he was such a good father, and he went through everything he did to become a woman, to take care of his kids and be there for his kids, and now you're saying that Mufasa is the best father.
One of the matriarchs.
But, well, you did say that Robin Williams was last round, so you're contradicting yourself a little.
Oh,
Plus,
please.
he said Darth Vader, and that's a good point. Plus, Mufasa does die in like the first couple minutes of the movie, and he doesn't really raise Simba. I would argue that Timon and Pumbaa raised Simba more than Mufasa. So,
Which is also an awesome argument. Which is the fact that that's one of the reasons that he becomes so amazing too.
I would say that doesn't take away from the nature of the movie being
No,
very
Mufasa-
good though. Just because he dies within, he still.
And it is a Disney movie.
And,
Somebody always dies.
Somebody's got to die.
Somebody's got to die at Disney.
no one dies in Ratatouille.
What do you
Yes,
mean?
they do.
Gusto.
The fat chef
Oh, okay.
died.
Gusto did die.
Gusto
That's
dies.
true. That's true.
How does the kid get
Yeah,
in
fair
the
enough, fair
restaurant? Somebody always dies.
But I don't think him dying takes anything away from the movie. Both of the other movies, Toy Story and Lion King, seem very patterned Disney movies to me, whereas Ratatouille is very much outside the box and it stands alone, kind of on its own. Brad Bird, great filmmaker, made that and has said that he didn't want to make sequels to it because it was such a good movie.
Okay, I just don't think. Okay, Ratatouille, great movie. My whole family loves it. I can't sing along with it. I think a wonderful animated movie has to have something where you have everybody singing along with it. Every time it comes on, I don't care who's watching it. I don't care if you're not watching it. And one of those songs comes on, first thing you think of is that animated movie. First thing you think of.
Yeah.
I give you that, but both of those movies that you guys named are so they're patterned. They're so Disney has a pattern when they're making anything, and it's like
That's what makes it
this
wonderful.
happens, this happens, this happens.
Because it's a successful
It
pattern.
is.
Plus, Ratatouille kind of makes me just think of President Nixon when he was like, "You dirty rats." So I don't know if I can really get down with this movie.
I do like Ratatouille. I love Toy Story. Toy Story has a lot of good songs in it as well,
You're right.
True.
obviously. But I just think as far as animation goes, that was not one of my favorites. Just
Fair
wasn't.
enough.
I don't know. In my opinion, both of them are just so very predictable.
I can see that. I can see that. I just think that you gotta have something to sing along with in an animated movie. Okay?
All good.
Yeah. That was a good one too.
What?
Little Mermaid. Again. Again, awesome soundtrack.
After I cut them all out.
We don't like any of those arguments. Those arguments
I don't like any of those movies except Ratatouille.
Really?
I actually heard them.
I haven't seen Lion King since I was like 3.
Lion King was one of the ones me and Bob used to listen
I
to.
almost.
Did you almost pick Lion King?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I think we all had good arguments.
I almost picked Meet the Robinsons too.
That is a good one.
That's such a good
Dude,
one.
I should have.
I was
Oh, you know
surprised
what?
you didn't say that.
You know what else I should have said? But these people probably wouldn't have known it. Treasure Planet.
Oh, Treasure Planet is
Treasure
really
I'm
good.
surprised you
Planet.
didn't say me. I was like,
Yeah.
she literally just
You
picked.
gotta
You know
pick
what?
one though.
Lion King
Yeah.
brought me back to my childhood. You know what I mean? Like where I started watching animated movies again.
Right.
Because I think I was in my 20s when that came out. I'm barely over my
Okay,
20s now.
we're done.
All right.
Misty.
Oh, my apple.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
right.
Oh, wow. This is
That's surprising.
yeah.
Okay. By one vote.
Okay, so this next round is a speed round. So Jama, you got to be on top of this. Yeah, you only get 20 seconds, and then you get a 20-second rebuttal. So you get 20 seconds to make your point, and then 20 seconds to argue.
But do I start at the top?
Yeah, start at the top.
But I don't understand what that.
I'll
I'm trying to
explain.
it to
I'll
me,
explain.
and I didn't get it.
So on this round, we both have to name what we think is the worst movie.
Okay.
Worst ever.
The worst movie ever?
Yeah.
In this category? Any category.
In
Just the worst movie in general. The worst movie you can think of. But the catch is that after we both name the worst movie we can think of, we switch and you have to say why the movie that I pick is worse than the movie that you pick. And I have to say why the movie that you
what if I
pick
haven't,
is
what if I haven't seen it?
well, you can say that and we'll pick another one, I
Okay.
So tell me when to start the timer. I'm lost.
Okay. Worst movie
guess. Okay. I got one if you do.
ever.
Worst movie ever. Okay, I've got one.
That's hard.
Okay.
Is it Bicentennial Man?
That's a low blow. Okay. On the count of three, let's say.
Okay.
Alright. 1, 2, 3.
Open
Napoleon
water.
Dynamite. Oh, okay.
You say Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this one might be hard because I can't get through Napoleon Dynamite. That movie is so dumb
Well,
that I've never really seen the whole thing.
okay. Well, that's part of your argument because now you got to say why Napoleon Dynamite is worse than the one you just said.
No, it's better.
No, worse.
No, they're switching.
They each choose the worst.
Okay.
And they switch.
Okay. So I'm arguing
You're arguing.
worse for yours and you're arguing worse
Yeah.
for mine.
I gotta
Okay.
argue that
But you get 20 seconds.
open water.
Okay.
Who's going first?
Okay.
Okay. I'll go first.
Okay. He'll go first.
Ready?
As soon as he starts speaking, start the timer. You can take a minute to collect your thoughts, and then as soon as you start speaking, you got 20 seconds.
Okay. All right. Open Water is the worst movie I've ever seen because one, I was made to watch it. It's about people who get left out in the water on a boat, and they float around for 2
No, wait,
hours.
wait.
And
You're supposed to say why Napoleon Dynamite is the worst.
Yeah.
I thought the switching was after.
No, the
No.
switching is
You
not.
argue
That's
for
the
why.
argument.
What
You have to
chose
argue
the
for
first
why
round.
Napoleon Dynamite is.
Is you versus
Oh.
Napoleon.
Okay.
Yeah, it says.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, now let's start.
Okay. Ready? Okay. Go. Napoleon Dynamite is such a bad movie that I cannot actually get through watching it. I've tried several times. I like, what's his name? John Heder as an actor. I think he's funny, but the movie is so stupid that I just cannot watch it. People moping around and gosh, and you know, that seems to be the point of it.
Okay, so Open Water is a worse movie because it tries to be scary, but it's not, and it's a lot of just people trying to overcome being in open water.
Thus the chuckle.
They don't. It doesn't have a varied plot.
Okay, so we keep going through these?
Now he gets 20 seconds to argue.
How long does this
To argue what?
To argue that that yours is worse. That Napoleon Dynamite
Okay,
is worse.
now you go with open water argument, yes.
So, wait a minute, I'm arguing for Open Water or for
No,
Napoleon
now
Dynamite?
you're just still arguing that Napoleon Dynamite is
You
worse
just
than
have to
Open
say
Water.
like another
Okay.
reason why it's better.
I'm not sure it is.
Well, you shouldn't admit that.
Okay. I see where that movie is completely bad, and I was made to watch it, and it is horrible. But it's not as bad as a movie that I can't even watch. I love movies. I think everybody here knows that. I'm a movie connoisseur. I know most things about movies, and it's a movie I can't even get through. It's so bad.
I think that Napoleon Dynamite has a cult following that makes it better than Open Water.
Yes, but most
And-
people are dumb.
So is Napoleon Dynamite, and that's what makes him so lovable. And that's
So why is open water better?
Okay. So now you guys have to concede on who won this round.
Do we really need to concede? Because I'm pretty sure we know who won.
Who?
Dad.
Do you guys all agree with that?
Hold on.
Okay.
Now, do they argue with the other one now, or
No,
no?
that was it.
That was it.
The whole thing of this.
There's-
like clauses, where you have to argue for the opposite movie.
Okay.
Well, this
Here.
speed round's like best 2 out of 3.
Oh, it is?
Okay, yeah, so this is what
Oh,
you
okay.
want.
But you guys can still discuss who won this round, this question.
Okay, go
But
to the next
just
one.
just do the next one, yeah.
Who won?
Who won this first one?
We can, oh, we can.
Yeah, you can
Got
say.
it.
That is-
Okay. So,
Alright, the next one is the best Steven Spielberg movie. Is this 2017?
yes.
I have an objection because Steven Spielberg
Okay, the way I
never
spelled
made
it.
any movies that I know.
Okay, but Steven Spielberg, I said did.
Okay.
That's spelled wrong.
Okay, so I'll go first this time.
No, this is the best Steven
Best Steven Spielberg, yeah.
Yes.
And there's no twist.
Yes.
So you can say the there's no more twist.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you want to go on the count of 3 again?
Give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna say it first and then argue.
Yeah. We'll say it on the count of 3. And if we say the same thing at the same time, then we both have to pick something else. Unless we keep doing that.
Do the next category.
I hope you guys do the same thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I do too.
1, 2, 3.
Indiana
Back to the
Jones.
Future.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Back to the Future, those are good.
All right. Okay. So, did you start?
Ready?
Back to the Future is the best Steven Spielberg movie because it was so original. Again, it spawned sequels that were arguably just as good as the first one. It introduced Michael J. Fox as a household name and allowed him to go to deeper levels than he had been able to really do before and get really, really creative with storytelling.
Okay. Basically, everything you said could be said about Indiana Jones. What's his name? No, not Harrison Ford.
Steven Spielberg?
No, the guy who played Marty. What's his name?
Michael J. Fox.
Sorry, the argument sucked.
really good on the revolver.
Yeah,
Yeah, they should.
and he already was a household name. Just because you didn't know him before that doesn't mean everybody else did.
Stick to your 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so argue, now then argue,
It's a rebuttal. So they're just like arguing
Okay.
off of what the other person said.
alright, Zach.
Okay. So I think that Indiana Jones is not as good as Back to the Future because the fourth one was just terrible. Crystal Skulls was an embarrassment to the series, whereas Back
That's
to the
not
Future
what I
really
said,
knew
though. The
where
original-
to stop. And Indiana Jones did not help Harrison Ford get to a household name as much as Star Wars, whereas Michael J. Fox really did.
You have 1 second.
Okay.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, Michael J. go. One, Michael J. Fox was already a household name from his TV show Family Ties, and it cemented Harrison Ford as one of the biggest movie dollar earners, movie stars in the industry because of that. And we're not comparing the last Indiana Jones, we're comparing the original Indiana Jones. So
You're done. That's it, you're done. It's alright.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Second half I think they
Like,
rolled 20 seconds.
well, I'm thinking Marty and Alex P. Keaton and all those names from TV shows and movies, and I'm like,
You should have said Marty.
Michael J. Fox.
Okay.
It's unanimous.
Zach won. Zach won that one.
I think we should do the last one.
I would do the last one because it's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, 1-1.
What was the last one?
So the last one is the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
That one's tough.
Okay. I think we're gonna say the same thing on the count of three.
I don't
Do
think
you need a
will.
minute to think about it?
I don't think you guys are gonna say
I bet you we are. No, I don't need to think.
Okay.
Ready?
One second.
Huh?
Just a second.
Okay.
Okay.
You're changing it, aren't you?
I think I should, but I won't.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Here you go.
1, 2, 3.
Iron
Infinity
Man.
War.
Oh, okay.
Zach, what was your movie?
Infinity
Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War.
I didn't know.
All right. Well, you get your first 20 seconds.
Okay, I get to go first.
Whenever you
All
start
right.
talking.
Iron Man is the best Marvel movie. It cemented the entire Marvel universe and made it successful and allowed them to continue making movies. If it had not been successful, Infinity War would never have been made. Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor, and he played that part impeccably.
Infinity War is actually the best movie because it's got so many characters that it balances so eloquently. That's also a big word. And it allows the filmmakers, who is two people, which allowed two different visions to come together so uniquely, to really shine everything that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that started with Iron Man but was perfected through this.
Hang on.
Okay.
One more.
They got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that it was perfected with that. I think it was perfected prior to that, and I'm not. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's not perfected at all yet because they're still working on them. But that movie cemented the. Like I said, the other movies would not have happened. The director of that movie was actually in it, and that's something tough to do.
Zach.
I would argue that Iron Man had some parts that were a little less exciting, whereas Infinity War had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. It also ended with a twist that left me wanting more, whereas Iron Man ended with him saying something that we've known for basically the entire movie, and
That part
the
was
second one
completely
set up
ad-libbed.
more. That it was. But I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. All right. So was it pretty close?
By one vote.
One vote again?
One vote again.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. So
So,
winner is-
drum roll that
Zach's the winner!
but if you go back to the future, you can still win.
one. Oh, he's
But you
got
gotta
it.
be Zach.
That is the best Steven Spielberg movie.
What if I go Zach to the future?
Thanks for watching.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm Zach. Don't you do crack. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that other crap YouTubers say, and I will catch you in the future.